All right, so it's return to Ravnica. That joke's got to stop. It's Guilds of Ravnica.
But it's return to.
It's Ravnica 3.
Ravnica.
If they would have just called it Ravnica 3, I would have been like, all right. Well, really, it's... I mean, if you count like block to block, like...
Ravnica 7.
Yeah.
Becomes Land Before Time-esque.
Land Before... Yeah. It's the baby Sharptooth. Dude, so...
Like, Sharptooth is dead, long dead, but, you know, we're still going to milk this.
That was like the thing in like the 90s. They would start pumping out sequels for movies. Right? Like movies like Land Before Time.
Well, I remember like sequels having this really bad connotation.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because of that. Because there were like all of these sequels pumped out, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequels, like
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was this kid that we used to like, me and my brother, we used to get babysat by this lady, and she had like another group of kids that like would come over and get babysat at the same time.
Sure.
And, you know, like my brother and sister, they were older than me by like, you know, more than a decade, right?
Oh, yeah.
And one of my favorite movies growing up was The Goonies. And I'm not old enough for that. Like that was already an old movie.
Yeah, like that was,
you know?
that was made like the year I was born.
Yeah, it was already an old movie by the time I'm like, you know, 10 or 11 or whatever, right? And me and my brother like joking around about it, like me and my little brother who's even younger than me, and this kid who is like this, he's like this habitual liar. Like you can just like tell this kid is a liar. He's like, yeah, I've seen that movie. I've seen all 7 of them.
All 7
like,
of them?
They haven't made any more Goonies, man. And he's like, yeah, I saw the Goonie 7 just yesterday, and that's where they come up. That's where the one with Baby Goonie in it.
Baby
and
Goonie.
It's so plausible actually in that time period, right? Because that was like the thing.
Because there were so many sequels, you're like, shit.
Well, there's a sequel, but like, a lot of the time they're just like added baby version of something else. Like
well,
that,
yeah,
that
and they're like direct
all the time.
to VHS type
Yeah,
sequels.
direct to VHS baby version of whatever happened in the last one. So yeah, dude, Goonie 7, dude, the rise of Baby Goonie. All right, so I've got notes this time, dude. I've got a laptop myself.
Yeah, you're like, I'm already. I've been writing all day. I wrote an essay.
Okay, let's get to it.
My favorite commander.
Let's get to it like we always do with the legends.
Let's do it. Are we going to organize this?
Let's go shittiest to more interesting.
So we're going to do like reverse newspaper style. We're going to lead with all the dog shit information.
Yeah.
And then close with the key info.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So Boros, here we go. Boros, Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice, 2, a white and a red, or red and a white, for a flying mentor. So she has.
So this is a new mechanic.
Yeah.
Mentor.
So we got a new mechanic. The mentor mechanic is like the Boros mechanic this time around.
Yeah.
So mentor, whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on attacking creature with less power. So it's a little like bolster. Is that what that was?
Kind of a little bit like that. Yeah.
Like bolster. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to 1 target creature you control until the end of the turn. That creature gets +2/+0, gains trample if it's red, and gains vigilance if it's white.
Okay.
She's a 2/5. Dude, what do you think right now about Boros?
So, I want to be polite but firm.
Oh, all right, Dad.
About this. I think I'm going to guess that Mentor is an okay mechanic in limited and in standard. It may have some playability there. I don't think Mentor is going to work very well in Commander. I don't think it has a big enough. I don't think it's a big enough reward.
It's just, this could have came out 5 years ago, man, and I'd probably care as much about this card as I do now.
Yeah.
This is just a 5-year-old Boros card. This is just like every Boros card that we've been
getting.
No,
it really is.
Short
like
of the pre-con boys.
Yeah.
Or the pre-order boys that we got for Dominaria.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Aurelia here is encouraging combat, right? Like Mentor in and of itself is a mechanic that encourages combat. So we're kind of going with a very stereotypical Boros approach of combat matters, right? Like this is what we're going to do. We're going to be aggressive through combat. Which I think, you know, all of us that experiment with Boros and hope to play it in Commander, we're interested in that.
Yeah.
But having Mentor to me is like a really bad anthem.
Yeah. It's an anthem for one creature. And if you have a bunch of mentors out, like it's still pretty slow.
Yeah. Like you can get multiples
I wish that
out.
it just said that any creatures that she's mentored are indestructible.
That would be dope.
Or something where she's just like making it harder and harder for your opponents to unhinge your board state.
The other problem here,
something like that.
The other problem here is that both this mentor mechanic and what's listed here on her card. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0. Gains trample if it's red, gains vigilance if it's white. So clearly kind of the implication here, you're probably going to use that on Aurelia most of the time.
So she goes up to
she becomes a 4/5.
A 4/5 trample.
With trample vigilance. That's cool. It sort of fits in line with a reflection of the other Aurelia, but it's a sad reflection.
Even if she was a 5/5 for 4, like she's a draft pick. That's what this is.
She really
that's why
is.
She's a mythic. This is a draft card.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I think this works fine in another context. I don't now if they're not a commander, I think then we have to pose the question, does it fit into commander decks? And I still don't think this card makes the cut to be in commander decks in the 99 even. So probably worth
there's
ignoring.
better on attack triggers that you could be going for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
She just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put into, like, I can't think of any deck where I would want to put that. Like if you're doing Kalia, there's so many other cards that would rank well in front of this Aurelia. Yeah, I just don't really see it. Even if it's in the 99 of your other Aurelia or Gisela, there's probably better picks.
Yeah.
She's not going to make the cut.
This thing could be 10 years old for all I care.
Yeah.
Not excited.
Yeah.
What about Tajic?
Okay, so Tajic, Legion's Edge. So 1 red, white. So 3 converted mana cost. It's a 3/2. He has haste. He also has mentor. So yeah. And then prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. You can also pay this there's an activated ability. You can pay red and white, and Tajic Legion's Edge gains first strike until end of turn. So I think there's a bit of a problem here.
Okay.
So I think we talk about power creep at times. How sometimes we have new cards that put other things into obsolescence, right?
Yeah, there's a couple actually from this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll definitely talk about those. This is sort of a reverse, right? Like something from the past is making this current thing obsolete. The former Tajic, while not particularly popular, I think has more going for him than this new one does. In that the old Tajic is indestructible. Period. Right? This one's preventing all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Okay, great. So when somebody casts that Blasphemous Act,
it's not going to work.
We're fine. But
yeah,
how many
the Tajic gets up to the clock, right? Doesn't he get +5/+5?
Yeah, the other one gets +5/+5. So he becomes a 7/7 with the battalion trigger, which, you know, Boros wants to do that, wants to go wide, and now you've got a commander that's on the clock. The mentor thing, like I said, is underwhelming in commander. And this activated ability gains first strike until end of turn. There's a lot of hoops, basically, that this Tajic is saying we have to jump through.
Yeah. And the reward is not worth jumping through the hoop.
Yeah.
For.
So the protection that he has innately is not sufficient to keep him on the battlefield. We're going to need hexproof. We're going to need indestructible, most likely. Okay, that's a lot of hoops that we've got to jump through already. We have to pay mana just to get him first strike.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's out early.
Pretty much anything can block this, block it. And
yeah, it's a 3/2.
There's anything a Baron up is going to block it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
and he doesn't protect himself.
So, I mean, there's going to be people that try him out because you can just kind of plug in your Boros package that is going to underwhelm you like any other Boros deck. He doesn't provide anything that you need in Boros. Like you can interchange him with I think others.
The only direction I can see going with this guy, and really like to kind of say like the old Tajic still fits this a little bit, is kind of loading the deck full of cards like Pyrohamia.
Yeah.
And the Boros Reckoner.
I think that's fair. And
you're just doing damage to everything all the time.
And there's some other
repercussion on top of that.
Yeah.
But then I would kind of, if you were thinking like, I want a deck like that, like I want a deck that does a lot of like ambient non-combat damage through like things like Boros Reckoner, Pyrohamia, repercussion. I would just point you to Zurgo, because then you add black, he's indestructible on your turn.
Yeah, and you're going to have a bigger commander that's on the clock.
So you get Pestilence, the Stronghold Rats, I think is what it is. Pestilence Demon.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of, yeah. I
mean, in that case, it could be in the 99, right? Like
Tajic could be in it, yeah. Prevent all non-combat damage to other creatures, yeah.
So I think that's, I think that's something worth noting, is that he may be worth putting in other decks.
Yeah, maybe
like there might be some niche cases where he could be usable in other places. Boros is underwhelming with these two legends in terms of for commander. Like I said,
we're not surprised at all.
Yeah, I want to be nice about it because like I say, I think these cards probably have more of a place in standard and limited, but
sure.
But here we're
it's didn't need. I mean, Tajic just could have not been legendary, and they could have had us another card.
Right.
They could have just come up with some
I think it's a
random angel with the same stats as Aurelia, and then make Aurelia something with like really high CMC or a really rigid converted mana cost to keep her from becoming a draft crazy, you know? So but she's a draft card. That's why she's a mythic.
Exactly. So Dana from over at the Command Central podcast, he tweeted about kind of how underwhelming these are as commander design. And Gavin actually responded to him kind of saying that like, yeah, we're aware like of Boros and what's going on here. Like we just wait, there's some other things coming. But the nature of his response.
When did you find out, Gavin? Like, when did you find out this was like where did you become aware? Like how backlogged are you on your design? Well, how long does it take them to come up with? Did you know at Kalemny when that deck came out?
Right.
Did you think it was going to be okay 2 years ago or 3 years ago? That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And the impression that I got from the thread was, I don't know that Wizards understands Boros's problem fully within the commander context. Like I said, this stuff is fine for other formats, I'm sure, but I don't know that they see it fully in terms of what the problem is here with Commander. I understand that when you're dealing with red in the game Magic the Gathering, there are
Red's dominated their standard from like Amonkhet up.
Yeah,
like Hazoret was just.
It's a very fine line. Like you can't destroy the other formats just to give something to Commander. I understand that. I recognize they're towing a fine line with it.
But then Kalemny happened.
Right. But when like there's got to be some attempt, I think, to explore things that are functional in this format.
Sure.
And I don't see using either of these for commanders. I'd be surprised if they peak 100 decks on EDH Rec.
I'd be shocked.
That would be very surprising to me.
Golgari. So Izzoni the Thousand-Eyed. She's 2, a black, and a green. So you're kind of like Guildmaster mana requirement.
Yeah.
For a legendary creature, Elf Shaman, Undergrowth, when Izzoni Thousand-Eyed enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature in your graveyard. You can play black and a green to sacrifice another creature. You gain 1 life, and you draw a card. She's a 2/3.
Can we engage in some comparison a little bit?
Do it, dude.
So let's kind of look at other Golgari legends that we're using as commanders currently.
Oh, dude, prepare your ass. Prepare your ass.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little weird, right? So of course we have Marin of Clan Neltoth that tops the list, right?
Of course. She was huge.
Yeah, massive.
Before Atraxa happened.
And so that one where, you know, of course, that's the experience counter commander that sits in Golgari. And at the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard if that card's converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield, otherwise put it into your hand. So I guess let me contextualize this. I want to compare Golgari commanders interested in graveyards and
kind
of the hoops we're jumping through. So in the case of Marin, there's some setup, right? We need to get experience counters,
have creatures die
through creatures dying, right? And then we need to have things in our graveyard, and then we can kind of recur them, right?
Okay.
But it's some setup, but then now it's just a triggered ability. It triggers by your end step, right?
Okay.
So then we've got, let's just look at the Gitrog monster. There is a trigger by an upkeep. You got to sacrifice lands, but you also can do other things to kind of trigger all of these lands going into yards, and you get all of these rewards for things going into yards just from triggers. Gerard, there is an activated, but there's this huge landfall or this huge swell of pitching people's life totals for sacrificing creatures.
Yeah.
Right. And you can basically make it so Gerard doesn't go away is the other thing. Like he's just, rather than zoning him, just keep bringing him back. You know, and then I think, I don't know, like as I'm kind of looking at this, I'm like, this activated ability to sacrifice a creature to gain one life.
I don't know why I had mana ahead of that.
Yeah.
That alone kind of put it up.
That's the turnoff to me. And I guess that's what I'm getting at with doing some comparison. We've got several of these commanders that have triggered abilities where they're interacting with the graveyard through triggers. And then I think Gerard or Jared or whatever, his activated ability has a much bigger impact.
Yeah, to the point that everybody they start running from it.
Right.
Start considering their ability to play around it.
Because they sack a creature and everybody loses life equal to their toughness or power on him.
Yeah. Going up against established commanders like Marin or even non-Golgari ones like Karater, she's not gonna get you there. I think this, unlike the Boros commanders, does have a place in the 99 though.
Yes.
So Sidisi would be
Sidisi's very
the Brute Tyrant would be interested in this.
I think Gave is another one that would probably be able to use it.
Right. Yeah. I would say, like, if you're really looking to try to get a commander that produces you a lot of tokens and then you can use as a sacrifice, let's talk to Slimefoot.
And that's the thing to me.
Just talk to Slimefoot about that and tell him I say hi.
Yeah. So here's the thing to me is I think putting her in a Slimefoot deck.
She doesn't make Saprolings.
She doesn't make Saprolings, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm just talking about, like, if that last line of text about activating and or the tokens and sacrificing tokens is kind of what you're looking for. Like, Slimefoot comes out earlier. And yeah, there's ways to produce Saprolings outside of his ability.
Right.
There has infinite potential too.
Right.
Card draw potential too, because he deals damage, infect damage potential, like, and he's an uncommon.
No,
Sidisi wants this thing for sure. Like, yeah. This will work with Sidisi.
I think the CMC on Izoni kind of speaks to when you do want to play this card.
Yeah. Late.
You want to play it late.
And that's kind of if you look at just Golgari as a whole in this entire list or the entire release, they're looking for a large number of creatures in your graveyards.
Yeah, so they all have like a setup
trigger they have is just, we want a large volume of creatures in your graveyard.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of setup for them to be the most effective that they're going to be. Yeah.
Which I think I don't think that I'm the kind of player that's interested in doing this like long convoluted journey before I get around to being able to use my commander. I think Izoni will have appeal to a lot of people in that they're doing that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of different things you could do on your way to filling your graveyard.
Sure.
You know, you could be doing a lot of dredge type stuff. You may just have a lot of lot of small creatures that you're getting out there and doing sacking and CC demands and all that kind of stuff, to where you're kind of dominating the board on your way to that, and then you just drop your commander and you've got a shit ton of tokens. Like that may have, there's probably a good subset of players that has appeal to. I prefer to see her in the 99, him.
Okay. Hit me with the Selesnya stuff, man.
Selesnya, dude.
That's your.
I'm actually pretty excited about this. So let's do Tristani first.
Yeah.
So Tristani, 3 green and white for a 1/4 Dryad. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. When Tristani Discordant enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. And at the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. So I actually did a little studying up on this.
Okay.
There was some.
What's the study on this thing?
Well, so there's actually a little bit of enlightening discussion that went on Reddit. So there was actually a recent rules change that is applicable to Tristani here.
Okay.
So if you cast a spell or have an effect that creates tokens for other players, you own those tokens. So
what? Okay, so I get where you're going. You want to create tokens for other people and then pull them back.
Yeah. So I was actually, you and I were kind of having
your upkeep. They get creatures.
Yeah.
So what? Like hunted, whatever the hunted.
Yeah. So hunted troll is an example.
Troll.
So 2 and 2 green. When hunted troll enters the battlefield, target opponent puts 4 1/1 blue fairy creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield.
Okay.
So you've got this 8/4 that you paid 4 mana for, and it has green regenerate it. So when it dies, you can bring it back. And then with Tristani, at the beginning of your end step, you get those tokens back.
Sure, it's one-sided.
Terastodon.
Yeah. Okay.
Terastodon, I think, is already a somewhat popular, like well-used card in Commander.
Yeah, like,
I've never been a big fan of it because I feel like that's a lot of tokens.
Well, it's a card that's constantly shoved down our throats by wizards.
It really is.
You know, it's in almost every freaking deck. They put it in the premium Graveborn deck.
Oh yeah,
I remember that.
Really weird.
Yeah.
So 6 and 2 green for a 9/9, and when it enters the battlefield, you may destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents.
Okay.
And I think this is what the appeal is. You get this huge body, and you're able to destroy 3 permanents, and that essentially turns into 3 green elephant creature tokens.
Yeah.
Well, now you cast the Terastodon, you nuke 3 non-creature permanents,
and you just grab the tokens.
And then you grab these 3 tokens. So now you've got 18 spread through 4 bodies on your side of the board, and you've removed 3
Beast Within
permanents.
works.
Beast Within works. Hunted Lamassu.
Yeah, that was the other hunted one. Is that the one that makes a knight?
So when it enters the battlefield, put a 4/4 black horror creature token into play. The Acroan Horse works, and this is actually a really good place to do this because
you're just getting
you'll gain control of the Acroan Horse at the end of your turn. Now everybody gets the tokens, but then those tokens come back to you.
Weird.
So you have the Acroan Horse and all the tokens that come from it. Forbidden Orchard is a land that you would want to include here.
So okay, what are you saying then? You're thinking this is okay? This is kind of a
So
if we evaluate the commander of, you know, like, I want you to jump through these hoops so you can get my reward. Is this valuable to you? Do you feel like this
here's what I guess I'm getting at in this conversation. What I think we should think about. We had this conversation when you were talking through your Brutoclad list.
Mm-hmm.
One of the keys to any commander deck that involves tokens is you want to have the most effective ways of bringing tokens into the battlefield. And I think that Tristani and this kind of rules thing of you own the tokens when you've created them for other players.
Okay.
Opens this idea of using cards that may be too niche, or maybe they're underwhelming.
Okay.
Because you're giving other people benefit.
Yeah. Not for long.
It opens up this avenue of being able to use other options, I think, for a commander like Tristani. you don't have to rely on some of the, I guess, what you would typically use, like an Entreat the Angels, for example, or I don't know, just some of the elf ball type stuff that you would do. You might have some other options available to you, is what I'm saying. You still have the problem of your tokening. And creatures are inherently vulnerable in games of Commander. But she also has an Anthem on her. Like, other creatures you control get +1/+1. She comes in with 2 tokens. The other thing I would add about Tristani in this context is, or in the current Commander context, is that we just got in the Commander product 2 commanders that are messing around with ownership of cards. Aminatau has an ultimate that can push ownership of things. Well, this fucks that ultimate. Like, Aminatau cannot face this and use that ultimate.
Aminatau trades your whole board state, though, right?
Right.
And she only pulls back
That's
the
a good
creatures.
point. That's a good point. So you have to kind of like be careful with that, because
Sure.
whoever ends up with Tristani may be pulling back a lot of stuff that you didn't want them to have. And Xancha is another one, I think, like, that, I don't know.
That's weird.
Each player gains control of all creatures they own.
That's weird with Xancha.
So,
Can't block with Xancha, though. She's only a 1/4.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of this commander. This is, if you made a deck around this, you would find that it's probably your weakest fucking deck. Like, it's not like giving us permanents and then taking them back or whatever. Like, that's a neat trick. I'm more afraid of the second one. The second one seems like it has more potential.
I think so too. I agree
than
with
her.
you.
I'm glad that there's something you can do. It's not.
Yeah, I think Tristani has some neat tricks to it that you can, that are
If you're going to build a
very
new
interesting.
Selesnya commander this month, then let's do Emera Soul of the Accord. So it's green and a white, legendary creature, elf cleric. Whenever Emera Soul of the Accord becomes tapped, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. So she makes the same token.
Yeah.
She's a 2/2.
Yeah.
So you've already like started noodling this one out, it sounds like, right?
Yeah. So I think if we're looking at it in the standard context, Convoke is a returning mechanic related to Selesnya. And so they're, in standard and limited, they're encouraging Imara for a Convoke. Like, you tap her to cast Convoke spells. That's kind of the encouragement here. I hope as Commander players that we're not pigeonholing ourselves too much with that.
Sure.
There are probably some very valuable Convoke spells that we'll want to use. But I think there's something more sinister that Amara can get up to than just being tapped for Convoke spells. Specifically, and I think I've just been having this revelation this year.
Okay.
About, because I haven't really been a combo player until recently. I've kind of engaged that. Tap triggers are indicative of the potential for combos. And so she doesn't tap herself, so you kind of have to create that ability to tap her. But in these colors, one of the things we're obviously going to use is something like the Sentinel Hierophants.
Yeah.
So each creature you control gains tap, add green to your mana pool, play this ability as a mana source.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Because now immediately she's adding mana. She gives us a token. There's a lot of value coming out of just something like that. Cryptolith Rite would be another thing that we're doing. So, kind of an enchantment version of this. Creatures you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool.
Okay.
What I'm kind of intrigued by, and we'll get into this further when we do our series on guild commanders.
This is the one you're thinking you're going to want to focus on.
This is the one I'm going to focus on. I'm going to take a little bit of a different take, but I kind of propose that she may have some potential as an artifacts commander.
You are out of your mind.
I probably
She's
am.
a green commander.
She's a green-white commander. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Highly unorthodox.
It is unorthodox. Obviously, I think the thing that's the biggest deal, if we're going to do that, is we need to have the Mycosynth Lattice that would make her an artifact.
That typically sets stuff off.
And then we can engage in a lot of untap tap synergies and combos and engines. That would then open up things like using a blasting station. So if we have some way to tap her, like let's say maybe we put the Presence of Gond on her.
Oh God.
So Presence of Gond has, it's an
That's
enchantment. So enchanted creature has tap, put a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token onto the battlefield.
So she'd get both.
So now she would tap and add 2 tokens onto the battlefield. And then if we had, yeah, we would need some kind of like untap trigger, of course.
Okay.
But then like you could do things like Blasting Station, you know, like Blasting Station, tap, sacrifice a creature, Blasting Station deals 1 damage to target creature. Whenever a creature comes into play, untap the Blasting Station. So if you can kind of, you can see the potential there to kind of start setting up infinite combos.
Well, I'm excited to see your Selesnya artifact deck. Never in my goddamn life.
It's really weird, but I think in terms of review, in terms of power, I think it's really worth noting. You and I, we find, and I don't think this is not unique to us.
Okay.
Commander games are difficult to win through combat damage.
Oh yeah.
And so token strategies have an uphill battle, right? And so looking at Tristani, looking at Amara, we know that they're already kind of taken down a peg in terms of trying to rate them as quality commanders.
Right.
Right? Because they're asking you to token. Amara, I think, has a lot more potential than Tristani because we can combo with her. And there is the function of it that we're going to get bodies in the process of doing that combo, and those bodies can serve things like an Ashnod's Altar.
Yeah. That's I gotta see it when you bring it out.
So I'm not like I don't. Both of these commanders I think are usable. I think the context of your play group is important. Tristani is going to have an uphill battle if there's any measure of wrath spells that get used in your meta, because all of those neat tricks come for naught.
A little bit of come with that selfless spirit and the heroic intervention.
Yeah. And
the dauntless escort, and yeah,
absolutely.
There's ways to do it. Tokens are a little tougher because you lose Ghost Away and
it's true.
What is it? Unexpectedly absent or something.
Yeah,
that kind of protects your shit.
So there's sort of that uphill battle. Like you kind of have to take that into account with those things. It sort of, you know, it means that a segment of your deck has to include that kind of stuff in it. But I think Amara's quality. I think there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, she's 2 CMC, which is hot.
She's out early. She can be. I mean, she's out early if you need her to be out early. She's a combo piece, so you play her when you need to play her.
True. Yeah, she doesn't really need to be out there turn 2.
But the other part is that she,
unless you have the Cryptolith Rite coming soon.
Yeah, she will be out again if people deal with her. So very, very, I think a positive commander.
Okay. So one kind of meh, and the other one's meh.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
A little bit of that.
Like there's commanders that you can combo with much more easily than Amara.
Sure.
But you
can't get that, you know, hipster juice going.
Exactly.
With the freaking.
And there's nothing more hipster than being into Selesnya.
Yeah, true that. True that. When we went to the freaking pre-release, it was definitely the hipster table.
It was the hipster table for sure.
When they were doing the guilds thing.
All right, where are we going next, dude?
Let's go to the ADHD table, and that would be the Niv-Mizzet Izzet guild table.
Well, this is all you, man.
Yeah, this is all me. So we've got Niv-Mizzet Parun, who is a blue, red, legendary creature, dragon wizard. This spell can't be countered. Flying, whenever you draw a card,
can't be bargained with, can't be reasoned with,
can't be countered. When you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet Parun deals 1 damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. He's a 5/5. Motherfuck, dude. Motherfuck. So right away, if you start looking into this card, you'll hear people complaining about the color requirement that is
3
attached
blue,
to him.
3 red.
Yeah. I think while it will be a little bit of a barrier, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem.
Okay.
So I just wanted to kind of do like a whirlwind tour of Niv Mizzet.
Yeah.
Because he comes up a lot when I'm around, and then this is the third version of him. So now we have 4 dragon wizards in the game, and 3 of them are Niv Mizzet. So the very first Niv Mizzet is probably the one that parallels this fairly well. The original Niv Mizzet was 2, a blue and a blue, and a red and a red.
Okay.
When Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation came out, I had said that the Locust God's going to pass him up, kind of, because he's more resilient.
Yeah.
That was the big problem with the original Niv Mizzet. So the original Niv Mizzet was less power and toughness, so it was a 4/4.
Yeah, it was a 4/4.
It's also flying, and it says whenever you draw a card in Niv Mizzet, the Fire Mind deals 1 damage to target creature or player, and then he had the tap to draw a card to kind of get himself going.
Yeah, so can we talk about that a little bit? Because I saw a lot of people complaining about how little difference there was between the previous iteration of Niv Mizzet and this one.
Yeah, there is very little difference. Like you could take the deck if you're already a Fire Mind guy. You already know like this is just going to replace it.
Yeah,
but you also kind of thinking like, well, I can't get him out as soon because I'm not allowed to use Soul Ring-esque, Soul Ring type ramp to get him there.
Yeah,
Soul Ring is not going to advance him out
colorless
sooner.
mana matters not.
Yeah, not to get him out. I'm not saying take the Soul Ring out of your Niv Mizzet deck. It's just an objectively good card for the rest of the deck. But
sure,
as far as getting him out turn 6, yeah. So the original Fire Mind, I think, if you had a really fast setup, really quick to kind of get your combo ready to go, quicker, then yeah, he's more of the glass cannon side of things. This one is more resilient. Will still get you the same thing, but if you're in a heavily blue meta, like a blue meta, that this can't be countered thing is going to be good, and also targeted removal is going to just net you card advantage. Yeah, like they might accidentally set him off.
That's the thing to me that I think is most appealing about this iteration is that before it's tap draw a card, so you know you're not going to take advantage of that the first round of the table, and then
you're going to get
targets
it.
Yeah, and whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, like there's going to be plenty of those played.
Yeah. He also likes ritual spells and cantrips more than the original Niv Mizzet.
Yeah.
The original Niv Mizzet just wanted to do wheel spells. That was the most card draw you could get for the mana.
Yeah.
You're going like 3 mana Wheel of Fortune to draw 7 cards.
Okay.
So he's looking just to kind of dig and get through the deck. This one's still looking to do that, but I think this one favors ritual spells, especially with the mana cost.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get 1 red, you can jump the rest of the way.
Yeah.
To get him out sooner. Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think in a tougher meta, this is a little bit better, but I don't. How do you say something is better than the original, but there is one thing it just can't do? Like it won't be out as soon.
Sure.
The original one you hardly ever cast on 6 anyway, though. So
well, yeah, that's the thing. Like
my deck was not the most tuned deck, obviously, but I'd have to wonder, like, what does the most optimized original Niv Mizzet the Firemind deck look like? And were they able to tell me, hey, yeah, on turn 6, I had him out and I was going fucking nuts on turn 6. A lot of the time it's like he was a piece of a combo. You don't really cast this guy in isolation. I think I'd be more ready to cast this Perun guy, the Perun version of him, in isolation before the other one.
Yeah, because you're going to get fed and it's going to happen.
Yeah, and he's tougher, and he's 5'5", so you know he's not on the clock, but he's just a little bit. He's got that little bit bump.
There's something about that difference between 4 and 5.
It's a good valley to get across. Having 5 health is you know, languished now can't take him.
Yeah,
like they have to pay. A lot of spells don't fucking
touch
close
a 5/5.
Yeah, they just can't close the deal on a 5/5.
Yeah, it's true.
A lot of them. 4 and down, that's like most of the commanders.
Yeah.
You know, and then 2 and down are like the really, really strong ones. Like those are the ones that are pretty easy to upend.
Yeah.
I'd say one thing about this, why it doesn't relate well to the other one, the Niv Mizzet Draco Genius has always been kind of overlooked as a commander because he doesn't perform like the original in the combo speed.
Sure.
I would say that the second iteration, the Draco Genius, he's probably the best control.
Oh yeah.
Mizzet. because you're holding up mana a lot, almost exclusively in a control deck.
Yeah.
So right before your turn begins, he's a really good mana sink for a control deck. So the Draco Genius is just not set up the same way as the other two. The other two are combo pieces.
Oh, yeah.
One kind of on the glass cannon side, if you're that guy that can pull it off on turn 6. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from getting him on turn 6 or sooner with ritual spells or High Tide or whatever. I'm just saying it's more likely considering the artifact mana ramp that's popularized in this format with the original.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, spells I'd be interested to put in the deck. Ritual spells. You're looking to try to get through this storm thing. You want to have him just ping everything out. Curiosity, if you're that guy.
Oh yeah.
Or Ophidian Eye, if you're way more cautious and you want to end step the thing in. That kind of thing. He's dope. I hope they don't kill him off in this story. I'm gonna get so fucking depressed if they do.
We need to check.
They're either going to give him Planeswalker
I feel like we need to
Spark,
check your bereavement
or
policy, dude.
I know, right? Does it include extended family? Okay, so we got one guild left, and holy shit, did they get some love this time?
I'm intrigued by both of these.
Honestly, going through it with commander stuff, I think we got it in the Legends, but as far as like their actual cards go, I don't know if we're getting a lot from that there. I think Standard's going to have a lot of cool stuff, and you know what? Fuck it. They deserve it, man.
Dude, Surveil is a really cool mechanic.
We're talking about the house that shall not be named, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
The faceless men.
Can we go with the more wackadoodle one first?
Okay.
I have something I want to say about it. So it's Etrata the Silencer.
I've got things too. I'm curious to see what you say.
So
what you have.
It's two a blue and a black for a legendary creature vampire assassin. She is a sanguinary vampire per se. Etrata the Silencer can't be blocked. Whenever Etrata deals combat damage to a player, exile target creature that player controls and put a hit counter on that card. That player loses the game if they own 3 or more exiled cards with hit counters on them. Etrata's owner shuffles Etrata into their library. She is a 3/5, so she actually has that
threshold.
Yeah, that bigger butt for us. So I think we can say right away, like if you everyone already knows this, but you don't need to be tucking her back into your yard into your library after you land that 3rd hit.
Yeah.
So
you have a replacement option.
She lends herself kind of like a Voltron.
Yes.
She's on the 3-hit clock.
Yes.
In a roundabout way.
Yes.
They must have creatures though that can't be tokens, can't be their commanders,
right,
and can't be hexproof, obviously, because then you can't target them.
I mean, there's ways they can get around it if they have a way of sacrificing it away.
Yeah, that too.
If they have replacement effect like a commander. So
she's gonna be. She's definitely got a lot of rings you got to get through before she gives you the reward, and then even when you get it, you have to.
You're gonna have to
back
start
that off
back
too.
Back in.
So she does actually work with ninjutsu.
Yeah.
The ninjutsu trigger just basically says that an unblocked creature can be ninjutsu'd in.
Right.
So the way this would work is you attack with her. She obviously isn't blocked because she can't be blocked.
She's unblockable.
You allow combat damage to hit, and then in response to this thing's whenever going on, you do activate the ninjutsu ability from your hand. Problem here is that the ninjutsu won't trigger. You won't get whatever that ninjutsu trigger is.
Because you're getting her trigger rather than the ninjutsu trigger, right?
So if you're looking to do that Silent Blade Oni, I would just say just pick the very low CMC ninjutsus here. Don't be looking like you want to do the big Ink Eyes Oni one or whatever. Like just be like, all I really want to do is get her back to my hand so I can keep her at 4 CMC.
Yeah.
Flicker effects would work as well.
Yeah.
So in response,
so like instant flicker effects.
Yeah, they would need to be instant. Like Crystal Shard is a good one. You can pay blue and just bounce her back to your hand.
Is the Deadeye Navigators activated?
Yeah, it
instant.
Would work.
So okay,
it would work. It'd pull her back and then reset. This is a lot of setup. Yeah, this is a lot of setup.
So here's my thought about her.
Okay,
is because I think there's kind of like, I don't see you being able to kill enough people with this, right? How many combat steps do you require in order to take out your opponents? Like if it's, I mean, obviously We just talked about politics. You want to leverage people, all that kind of stuff. But if it's just up to you and you're in a 4-player game,
it's a tall order.
You need 9 combat phases.
And 9 creatures that are legal targets.
And 9 creatures that are legal targets. So that's a tall order.
Unless you use the Strionic Resonator, then you can double this up.
There is that.
So you get 1 creature, but
here was my thinking was and I haven't fleshed this out, but I kind of started thinking through it a little bit. What is one of the inherent problems that a pressure deck has? It's prone to aggro decks, right? Like an aggro deck can put a pressure deck out of the game. Like
pressure decks looking to resolve things like pestilence. To threaten aggro states. It's looking to
they're usually
Ward of Bones.
They're usually open because they're not very creature heavy.
Yeah.
And so my thought was kind of like,
what are you thinking this would be a pressure deck?
I'm kind of wondering if you kind of make it something that straddles where you intend to kill one person with a Trada. You focus, you just latch onto one person.
She's a lot cool.
Yeah.
Short her like
pick the person that has the most aggressive deck at your table.
Okay.
Latch onto them with a Trada and deal with them that way while you're setting up your pressure package. To me, that just seems like an easier way to get to a win with a commander like this, but it also resolves a problem pressure has where you can actively deal with the biggest threat to you.
All right, yeah.
All
right.
That's maybe a little weird niche thing because obviously, like you said, the biggest things are like using the ninjutsu to kind of save her, using flicker effects to save her, and you can kind of just keep her going.
She just has a lot of hoops to jump through. Like I'm not turned off by this commander because the effect is like, okay, well they just lose.
Right.
Like it's not like, oh, you draw a bunch of stuff or you bring a creature card. Like it's a pretty final effect. Like they're just out of the game.
They lose.
But yeah, like we're talking 9 combats, 9 legal creatures, none of which can be a token, a commander, or a hexproof.
And the other thing too is think about how you impact the way other people play around this, right?
Oh yeah.
So let's say somebody's playing a Mizzix deck and you've latched onto them. And you've exiled Mizzix twice. I mean, the odds of that happening with a Mizzix player.
It won't work.
Because
they'll redirect it to the zone. They won't get the hit count.
Exactly. So there's not enough stuff there in that person's deck in order for you to deal with it. And then they're not going to cast other creatures for you to have targets for you.
It's true.
Right? So I don't know. I think I'm super intrigued by Atrada.
Yeah, she's intriguing.
It's way flavorful.
This is one of those cards where there's like support cards coming down the pipe for this chick.
Oh, there's got to be.
Like there is.
There's got to be. And so I'm excited for it. And it's sort of, I mean, we talked about, do we feel like we're going back to Kamigawa at some point with the ninjas?
The rumor is that it could happen. Yeah.
Well, I mean, kind of this alone already kind of has that feel of tying in with
Kamigawa,
and also with Tetsuko and all that stuff, like it just has that feel to me.
Yeah, ninjutsu, maybe. All right, hit us with the other guy, dude.
Okay, so we've got Lazav, the Multifarious.
Yeah, we do have Lazav, the Multifarious.
Blue, black, 2 CMC, much like Imara. This is fucking crazy. This guy's crazy.
Yeah, this guy is cool.
So when he enters the battlefield, Surveil 1. I think we've alluded to Surveil. Specifically what it is look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. So it's sort of a graveyard-centric scry. Rather than putting it on the bottom of your library, you put it into your yard. Activated ability of X. Lazav the Multifarious becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted mana cost X, except its name is Lazav the Multifarious. It's legendary in addition to its other types, and it has this ability.
God, man, what a time to be alive.
Fuck yeah, man.
What a time to be alive if you like Dimir. So, yeah, man.
This is
Scarab God. We've got the Eureka now, and now Lazav the Multifarious.
Yeah. I think this is a really good pivot for Dimir Mill.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I think there's some people that are kind of upset because Lazav is supposed to be copying other people's stuff, and
it's a flavor
sort of
thing.
A flavor thing. But let's be honest and stop right here. We did an episode about the mill theme, right? There's kind of two routes that you go with, two main routes. There's milling in order to get stuff in the graveyards that you can use.
Okay.
And there's milling to win. Milling to win is exceedingly difficult. It requires
Commander especially
comboing. Milling for objects that you can benefit from there's a wealth of opportunity that comes with that, and this Lazav capitalizes on that.
Yeah, to this I'd say let go of your Vorthos and just play how fucking dope this card is.
Yes.
Like, just let it go, because you will always have better options at your own disposal coming from your own deck than randomly from your opponents.
Yes.
Like, I play Gonti, one of my favorite decks, but yeah, this is manifestly true with the old Lazav, because the old Lazav only could target other opponents.
Yeah.
Couldn't do his own yard.
It's the inverse.
So he wanted you to set up all the mill things. So combo time with this thing. Yeah, this one I think is pretty well covered in the metaverse. But
sure.
Ornithopter for 0. He's now a 0/2 flyer. You attack, turn him into Wall of Blood, dump your life on him, and they're done for 21. Same thing with Invisible Stalker for 2, and then switch into Phage if you really want to like keep the CMC high.
Yeah.
Plus Phage is hot.
Phage requires a little bit of...
Plus Phage is my fetish. That one will work too. I would put Torpor Orb in this deck. The Surveil is nice and all, but you'll probably finding other ways to fill your yard.
You definitely need to have your Dimir mill stuff, but you need things... Yeah, you're not to win. It's just to get it into your yard.
I love the Torpor Orb. Like, you're not going to get any ETB's effects off of him anyway. Right. So let's just extend that to everybody else as a courtesy.
Yeah.
What other combos? Oh yeah, anything that will. So what is it? The Vector Asp or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Vector.
Anything
Asp,
that grants him infect, and then if he shapeshifts underneath, as long as it's until end of turn. So like the Vector Asp ability.
Yeah, like I think people are talking about like Vector Asp with the Walking Ballista.
Or Vector Asp with the Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Oh yeah,
that will end lives, because if you turn him into Vector Asp, activate the ability, switch him over to the Walking Ballista, then yeah, you can ping out everything.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I like the Dreadnought because you could attack. Well, you have to come up with some kind of evasion.
Sure.
These are mana intensive moves.
Yeah, like you have to have a
he's gonna be a mana hungry guy.
Yeah, you have to like you're gonna have a higher land count.
God,
you need
to
so make sure
freaking crazy too.
I would guess you need your big black mana package in this deck. Like it's just,
you might want to lean on that a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, and that's not even a joke.
Yeah, I mean I think we've talked about mono black decks a lot. I put the big black mana package in a 2-color deck in my Orzhov, Regna, and Krav. I mean, you saw it last night.
Yeah,
it works.
You were producing mana from it. Yeah,
it's not as effective as being in a mono black, but it works.
Yeah, this guy's cool. He reminds me of something out of like the original Devil May Cry. I don't know why. for the PS2, like just something you'd see in a cutscene from that.
Huh? Weird.
But he's man, I would like to build this thing, but I already have a Maresil deck, and I feel like they're a little kind of interrelated. Although he would be pretty cool for Maresil also, kind of. I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah, because
I think it's different enough, right?
I think it's just the stuff that I'm not. If I'm unable to get the blink going with Maresil, like because Maresil ETBs once, and then I cage a creature.
Yeah.
But what if I have like 2 other creatures that I'm just not able to grab?
Yeah.
So if I cage Lazav, I kind of have access
can now to copy them out of your graveyard.
Sure, it might kind of strain it a little bit. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about whether it fits. Every time there's a new activated ability on a creature, it's like Laza or Maresil. Does Maresil want? So yeah, that's all the legends.
That's the legends.
Which one's your favorite, man?
So I think Amara and Etrata are my 2 favorites.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
What about you?
Niv motherfucking Mizzet. You kidding?
Motherfucking Mizzet.
Yeah. Are you kidding me, dude?
I think you're pretty turned on by Lazav too.
And yeah,
when that came out, you were like, Kyle, dude.
AP is going to be all over that though. Like he just sops up all the Dimir product.
I think if it
and he's going to be pricey.
If it were me like 4 years ago, I would have Tristani Discord. I would have a deck built for Tristani Discordant, like prior to her coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, you were really into Selesnya.
Yeah.
Planeswalkers.
Let's talk Planeswalkers, dude.
Oh my god. All right, let me do Ralzarek, the fucking most annoying Izzet.
Dude, doesn't he look like the biggest douche?
He does, man. He's gonna kill my dragon. Something's gonna happen to my. I'm gonna get. Dude.
He already undermined him in Return to Ravnica.
Yeah, because you followed the story with him. Right?
Yeah, because Niv Mizzet made
undermine the director.
Yeah,
man.
Niv Mizzet made like his own Maze Runner, and Ralzarek was Melik. He made Melik, like Niv Mizzet just made him, and Ralzarek was all like, "I wanted to be the Maze Runner," and so he destroyed Melik, and that's it. I would not undermine Niv Mizzet, but Ralzarek's a little asshole. So
man, Ralzarek just looks like a circus character where they were recruiting off the Jersey Shore. So Ralzarek is at Viceroy. He's 3, a blue, and a red. He enters in with 5 loyalty. You can bring him up 1 loyalty and look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So they really like graveyard play for almost all minus the Selesnya.
Yeah.
It has the jumpstart mechanic,
Golgari
which we'll go over that. Yeah, Golgari, of course. And then, yeah, the Surveil.
Yeah, Surveil. Yeah.
You can bring his loyalty down by 3. Ral Izzet, Ral Izzet Viceroy deals damage to target creature equal to the total number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. So this is kind of like on the nose with flashback or the new jumpstart thing. And then his ultimate, which will cost you 8. You get an emblem with whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target, and you draw 2 cards. Okay, so
let's approach it. Are we still approaching these as the do nothing enchantments versus
this is? Is that yeah?
There's I feel like there's a lot of gears spinning in your head right now about this. Mostly disappointment.
I'm terrible at evaluating planeswalkers for commander, right? Like if we look at it like, well, how does this compare to a do nothing enchantment, meaning like it doesn't do anything the turn it comes down, that costs 5 mana.
All just come in.
We're only looking at getting the look at the top 2 cards, put one of them into your hand and one into your graveyard. So you kind of like are sifting through. And yeah, I don't see anyone letting that ultimate go off.
Yeah.
In a spell slinger deck, your block potential is almost 0 anyway.
Right.
And that's what the emblem wants. It wants you to be in a spell slinger deck.
Right, exactly.
So these his up and his ultimate and they don't help you achieve each other.
No, they don't.
So if he did like 3 damage, I have such a difficult time evaluating these cards. His
like
ultimate,
that down 3.
Like if I landed his ultimate, of course it would be fucking awesome if I was able to do that. Like this game would come to a close pretty quick.
Yeah.
But we already have a Gutter Snipe. Gutter Snipe already does this, and he does it to every opponent.
Right.
Yeah, the 4 can ping stuff off, and I guess the draw 2 cards.
Yeah, the draw cards is
I don't know. Evaluating planeswalkers for ultimates in Commander, or really just almost in a lot of formats, is kind of just a fool's endeavor. So again, every time we do the planeswalkers, we're always like, yeah, whatever.
It's a hard one because
99% of them, like they don't work. They don't work for us.
No, it's true. They don't. And I think one of our, I don't know, I guess problems that we have with them is just simply that we exist in a play group where we know better. I think hard. We had this stretch of time.
It's hard to protect them.
I think we had this stretch of time where we saw some planeswalkers get off, and it was always like, oh, they just won the game.
Yeah, we're not letting that happen. Like their ultimates are equally potent in Commander as they are in any other format.
Yeah.
So, but in Commander, like even ones that produce tokens for themselves, like you can just start attacking through them.
Yeah, exactly.
Until you finally get them. There's 4 whole turns of people doing combat. So yeah, the ones that are really, really low CMC, they're more likely to land their ultimate.
Yeah.
So like some of the Lilianas, like you're more likely to see those because people are still in the development stages. By turn 5, what are you wanting to develop in a spell slinger deck on turn 5? You're usually trying to like dig in on turn 5 and get your storm cards out or get your let's look at the other one. Hit me with the other chick.
Yeah, so Vraska Golgari Queen. So 2 black and green. So she comes in with 4 loyalty counters on her, and she has a +2 activation. You may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, you gain 1 life and draw a card. She has a -3 activation. Destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less.
So abrupt decay.
Yes, and an ultimate of -9. You get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
Hey, something that doesn't combo with freaking Doubling Season.
Exactly. So that was one of the first thoughts that I have. Doubling Season puts her
and
at
it gets
8.
you 1 turn away, but
it does put you one
doesn't give
one
it to
turn
you
away,
right
but it's
away.
not instant. And rightfully so. That's wise design there because this emblem is nuts. Because the previous iterations, of course, you got the 3 assassin tokens
were easily dealt with and easily blocked.
Yeah, like we've seen people pull off that ultimate, but never get those assassins through.
Right.
So 4 mana to get something where you can sacrifice a permanent and draw a card and gain 1 life. I don't know why I'm seeing this life gain in Golgari. I feel like I've been seeing that in other card design lately. It seems odd to me. Maybe that's just me. Meh. Right? Like it's good.
Yeah, she's all right.
I think being able to destroy something for 4 mana isn't bad. Like you said, it's an abrupt decay for more mana. Obviously, the more mana is because you have a permanent that could potentially do more. But I don't know. I guess when I'm evaluating these things, I'm not banking on getting their ultimates. Their ultimates are both of them. I think have ultimates that are pretty juicy. Hers in particular.
Yeah, but you know, again, like call me when you land one in Commander.
Right.
Call me when you land one. I guess if you're building the deck around a Planeswalker, then you could have a lot of board wipe density. But who's your commander with her?
I mean,
you've got a ton of board
honestly, like
on.
if we're just pairing her with what's here in the same set with Izoni, like you have the potential that you may be able to get a ton of blockers set up in front of her.
Yeah.
Like Golgari provides that ability to set up a lot of tokens in front of someone like Vraska.
Yeah, Slimefoot could do it too.
Yeah, Slimefoot could do it. And so I think.
So what are you gonna say? Maybe on this one?
I think it's a maybe on Vraska because I think you probably have a higher chance of keeping her on the battlefield than someone like Ral is at Viceroy, who like you pointed out, you're in a spell slinger deck, so he's inherently vulnerable.
Where this one that might be self-cured.
Yeah,
I
think you're going to get at the very least multiple activations out of Vraska.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Plus she's hot.
I like the art on this one too.
She's hot.
She's pretty cool.
So that's it. That's the only 2, unless I don't really want to evaluate the ones that are just clearly not great.
I'd ignore that they exist.
So what are we gonna do about the rest of the cards?
So I think you and I kind of divide and conquered with these a little bit.
Okay.
You took 3 of the guilds. I took 2 of them. And we'll just kind of point out some cards that may be of interest, I suppose, to Commander players. I think it may be worth mentioning at this point reprints a little bit that are,
we're getting Shocklands.
Yeah, we're getting Shocklands.
I'm surprised.
Which is a huge deal, right? So Commander players, go get your hands on those. Or don't, so that I can get my hands on them. And also I think Chromatic Lantern.
Nice try, MTG Finance.
I know, right? Right. Chromatic Lantern is another reprint that I think we're seeing here that's
oh my God,
highly relevant to us.
Whatever that
gets,
whatever it sets itself to, just you better just get them.
Yeah,
if it's like, oh man, it's only $5, it didn't go as low. Because Guild Lotus, we went from like 15 to 3.
Yeah,
that was a pretty big drop.
Yeah, it was a huge drop.
But this is probably
This is as good as you're going to
just
see it.
Swallowing everything up. It just it
really is.
Get them.
It really is, and it's a proven card because I think other cards you might see them take time to gain their value. This one's a proven card. We need it in Commander. People are going to grab it. It's going to get sopped up pretty quick.
Yeah, the Chromatic Lantern's great. All right, well, let me just start off with the Izzet stuff.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Izzet kind of got hosed a little bit in the card pieces.
So you got a Planeswalker you don't care about, a dope ass Niv Mizzet.
But yeah, we already had a dope ass Niv Mizzet, two of them. So, but I'm happy with it. I mean, but as far as like the card stuff, yeah, we didn't get a Cyclonic Rift level card or Vandal Blast level card. Like we just didn't get that.
Those are some sweet. Those overload, man. Those overloads.
So there's a split card. Invert and invent. So I don't think these don't fuse. It's either one or the other this time. It's not like you can't cast them both.
Okay.
So the invert, I don't know where this would matter. It's a hybrid red or a blue. Switch the power and toughness of each up to 2 target creatures. And it doesn't say until end of turn. It just, that's it.
They did. I think this is the card that they had to like immediately errata.
Did they change it?
It's till end of turn.
It is till end of turn? Okay, so I don't really know what the point of this is. Unless there's like a 1/5 out there you really want to hit with 1 damage from Niv Mizzet. I don't know.
Sure.
Invent's actually your budget mystical tutor for Mizzix. It's 4 a blue and a red. Search your library for an instant card or I would choose just to do both.
That doesn't make any sense.
And a sorcery card, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. So yeah, mystical tutor is obviously a fucking amazing card, but it's not exactly cheap. And I mean, this cost can be mitigated quite easily with Mizzix's experience.
Yeah.
And it's instant. That's why I'm saying, hey, right before your turn, red and blue, you grab 2 pieces that they are really not going to want to see in your hand at the same time. Then there's the Firemind's Research.
Okay.
Just pass on this card.
Really?
Yeah. Firemind's Research is a blue and a red enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a charge counter on Firemind's Research. Then you have 2 activated abilities. You can do 1 in a blue, remove 2 charge counters from Firemind's Foresight, draw a card. 1 in a red, remove 5 charge counters from Firemind's Foresight, and it deals 5 damage to any target. So this is not...
This is a rough quest.
Yeah, this is a bad. This is just a bad card. This is a bad card. With the dragon himself, you're just going to draw cards every time you cast an instant or sorcery anyway.
Why bother?
With the other activated, so he actually covers both sides.
Yeah.
Like by the time you get to 5 instants and sorceries with him out, you've already done 5 damage with that. So he's covering both ends of that. Like his research is not as impressive as himself.
Like if you want to be in a state of awe, just go see Niv Mizzet himself.
Yeah. I think Jace's Sanctuary is a better card for the draw kind of thing because you can kind of scry stuff away. And
is it Jace's Sanctum?
Jace's whatever. Yeah. Jace's, yeah. But I don't even think that's a good card. Like I'm just trying to give you like some alternatives to kind of put things into perspective.
Yeah.
As far as that second activated, if you have a Gutter Snipe out, by the time you have enough charge counters on this, you've already done 10 damage to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You've done 10 damage to all the opponents.
Yes,
you're right. The Gutter Snipe. So it's not great. And honestly, you don't resolve that many instants of sorceries in the course of Commander.
No.
You might with the new Niv Mizzet, because I don't think him and Mizzix are going to be looking at all alike, because he wants really low CMC stuff, and she's looking for like a curve where we're reaching the end of the curve and it's freaking crazy.
Right.
So he is just, I'd rather spend the 2 mana to develop a mana rock that's going to make it easier for me to resolve the actual boy himself than spend some time doing his research.
That makes sense.
He can do his own goddamn research. He doesn't need this card. Thank you very much. Quasi Duplicate. It's 1 a blue and a blue. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. You can also do the Jumpstart. So this is kind of my first Jumpstart card. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its cost, then exile it, or then exile this card. So let's say you have like a Brainstorm in your hand. You would discard Brainstorm and pay 1 blue, and then you can Jumpstart the Quasi Duplicate.
Yeah.
So Naru Meha wants this.
Oh,
it's already well-known combo with. I mean, it's a sorcery, so this thing can be disrupted.
Yeah,
as long as you can keep copying the quasi-duplicate, you can keep having her ETB.
That commander's ruined for me.
Yeah.
Money, please.
Money, please. It was one of our listeners said that. Risk Factor is another jumpstart card.
Okay.
It's really funny with Niv Mizzet. It's 2 and a red. When it says target opponent may have risk factor, deal 4 damage to them. If that player doesn't, you draw 3 cards, jump, and then jumpstart. So it's really funny with Niv Mizzet, except for it isn't. They'll always choose to have 4 damage dealt to them.
Right.
Because why would they ever choose to take 4 damage and you draw 3 and you draw 4 cards? No matter what, you get the card because you shot the spell.
Right.
But it's pretty much like with him around, it's going to be deal 5 damage to them, draw a card.
Right.
That's really what it's going to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
It's not, I mean, whatever. It's cute, but I don't know if you're going to have a lot of room to be cute with that deck.
Okay.
Chemister's Insight is another jumpstart spell. So it's 3 and a blue for an instant, draw 2 cards. And it also has jumpstart.
Okay.
So you're like, why the fuck would I do this? This card's...
Because you can jumpstart it, right?
Yeah, because you can jumpstart it, and that CMC is going to go towards Mizzix's reduction of mana cost. Right. So I already run Deep Analysis already, which is functionally the same thing, but it's not an instant.
So you're like, okay...
Yeah,
straight up replace that one.
I don't know. Maybe
or
find something else in that range. Yeah. So because drawing 2 at instant is don't underestimate instant speed. Anything else from their pile of stuff? Oh, maximize altitude and maximize velocity. So maximize altitude is a 1 mana sorcery. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains flying till end of turn. You can jumpstart this as well. Maximize velocity is red. Target creature gets +1/+1 and has haste until end of turn. You can jumpstart this. So maximize velocity is for Zada, because you can make all of the tokens suddenly grant haste and they get +1. So it's pretty good for Zada. Plus the art on it is fucking dope as shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Maximize altitude and maximize velocity could be for Shu Yun.
Okay.
I'm more looking at maximize velocity for Shu Yun because having him coming in and out of the zone a lot it slows you down. You do need to kind of pop off the instant.
Yeah.
And hit him like surprise, right?
Okay.
But man, these are a stretch. Like, see what I'm kind of working with here? Like,
what about the locket, dude?
Yeah, I mean, I take it for Niv Mizzet. If you're going to build that deck, you're going to need that color combination.
Yeah, you need specifically the colors.
And I wonder why it had to be that hard on the freaking activate. Like I'm liking things like Hedron Archive and
oh yeah,
because it's like you can just ditch it when people try to destroy it, even though you're probably using it. Commander Sphere I like more and more every time I play it because I've destroyed it in responses to Vandal Blast.
Oh yeah, because you're like, okay, well
even it's already tapped, so you're just like, it's one of those ones that you can just ditch even when it's tapped. Sure. This one it's pretty heavy. You got to pay.
That's a lot of
4 mana, then tap it, which it can't contribute to that own. The art on these cards though this cycle
they actually are pretty dope.
Yeah, especially the Izzet one. Like it's pretty fucking cool. It's got like the 2 wires hanging around it.
What about that 1,000-Year Storm?
I was trying to circle around that a little longer.
Like, damn it, Kyle!
But you're gonna hit me with it. This is a crazy card. It's a storm card is kind of what it's. I mean, it's a 1,000-Year Storm, but it's a storm card in a lot of, let me just read it. So it's 4, a blue, and a red. An enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. So the first one doesn't do anything, but the second one starts, and then the third and the fourth, and so on.
Yeah.
So if you remember my spell slinging themes deck thing when we did that like earlier this year, I talked about what I like to call the window of opportunity with playing a spell slinger deck. In my experience with Mizzix, and I did like a spell slinger Riku, and then I've done Melik, and I've done a couple, I think that's about it, that I would say, okay, they're spell slinger. You have a narrow window of time when you start approaching these mana ranges, right? You're definitely starting to stick out on the table. Like people are not happy about what you've been doing, especially with Mizzix.
Sure.
This is a lot of mana to commit.
Yeah, it's basically an eaten up turn. And
it's a dead turn.
And in conjunction with Niv Mizzet, like it's dead the turn that you want to.
So I'm not going to say this is a bad card, but I'm going to say that you will probably, depending on the focal point and development of your meta and how they are, it's a Spellslinger's Fool's Gold. That's what this is to me. It's a win more condition. If you're playing a Storm deck that's already going off.
Yeah, like you don't need this supplemental
Storm has some subtle differences. Storm counts everything that was cast, even non-instant and sorcery spells.
Yeah.
Storm counts other people casting stuff. The Storm is a much busted ability compared to this card.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're usually kind of keeping the CMC low to get that Storm count higher.
Yeah.
Also, playing Storm in EDH it's kind of sadistic, right? I mean, like it's not a well-loved way to play it.
Sure.
If you're doing like Mizzix, like how I try to do it, I don't even know if this is a win condition.
Yeah.
Like what spells am I really like, wow, I get 2 Fire Minds, Foresights. I already won off the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow, I get 2 Brainstorms. Yeah. By the time I'm at 6 mana, like I'm looking to resolve the bigger spells that I've earned my experience to push out.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to put this thing.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's unplayable, but this thing put this on the same place that you sleeved up that Swarm Intelligence and then pulled it right the fuck out of the sleeve and put it. This will end up right next to it. The Swarm Intelligence, even that freaking, what is it? The Primal Amulet. Like anybody who's tried Spellslinger knows what I'm talking about. There's a little stack somewhere of all these things they thought were going to work out, like the Sphinx Bone Wand. That's where this is going to go.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. There's going to be crazy moments where you're like, holy shit, I love this enchantment. But
the ability to pull anything off with or get there.
It's Spellslinger's Fool's Gold.
Okay.
That's what that card is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anything else from this range of stuff for just I know there is Izzet cards. Oh yeah, there's an Omnispell Adept. I might as well just kind of throw that one out there too. It's not an Izzet card, but it's 4 and a blue. For a human wizard, it's a 3/4. You can pay 2 and a blue and tap it. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. So it's kind of like a really slow ass instant or sorcery version of the Elvish Piper, I guess, but for instance and sorcery cards.
That card is fucking dope, in my opinion.
I think it depending on the deck you're running. So I can see it having value in a very instant and sorcery focused, mostly sorcery focused, Joda. Joda is looking to do pretty crazy stuff actually with sorceries.
Yeah.
This one is kind of
and it's like it's kind of like
you do this if you've lost control of
It's
him.
a way around the commander, right? Like to do that without.
Yeah, it's a way around the commander. In fact, it's less. It's 4 mana instead of 5, or a very non-optimized Narset.
Yeah,
that would be another one. Let's just drop that Expropriate for 4.
Well, yeah, but and that's the thing is, I'm like things like an Expropriate, but you're right. The setup because it's 5 mana, it's 3 to activate and tap, so you probably need Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots because anybody that knows what's going on
this is just way
going to remove it.
Yeah, this is a lot of hoops to jump through.
Like I think it. I don't know. It probably falls in line with what you're talking about. It's Fool's Gold.
Yeah, it's another one of those Joda and a really non-optimized Narset.
Yeah.
That's the 2 places I can see it so far. I don't really see it anywhere else. They did like a baby Talran too. There's a, what's he called? Oh yeah. So the Murmuring Mystic, 3 and a blue. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 blue bird illusion creature token with flying. He's a 1/5. I am actually pretty into this.
Okay.
Because it doesn't strain blue. Again, the window of opportunity has always been a problem with me. And if I'm telling you, like, I never know when to cast Talran because I don't want to drop 2 blue to do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of telling you, like, how pressured I am when I'm playing this deck. Like, you guys are not letting me do fuck all. If you see me drop 2 blue and I'm down, you're going to just go wild because you know you've got your window to just do whatever you're going to do.
Oh yeah.
So this kind of leaves a little bit open. Even the implication of only holding 1 blue up is enough. So I'm pretty into this. Oh well, they're not 2/2s. It's half the damage. I don't know. Put this in Locust God and it's another skull clamp target.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You know, like did you really need that extra? Like a lot of the time what I'm doing with Talrand is just using the Drakes to freaking block. You know, honestly.
Like I'm trying to get somewhere else. I just need bodies to keep people off me.
Honestly, that's what I value from them. So yeah, this is kind of like, instead of doing like, I kind of see this replacing my Frozen Ether.
Yeah.
The enchantment.
Okay.
Because Frozen Ether is like, oh, well, I get one more turn to kind of deal with whatever they're doing. But Frozen Ether actually pulls a lot of hate. This will pull a lot of worry. You know, like, oh, he's going to fucking go nuts. And, you know, it's like, dude, I'm not going to bird a spell. Come on, chill out. You know, I'm actually pretty okay into the murmuring mystic. I think that's it though. I don't know if there's really anything that sticks out as far as like the spell slinger archetype from Izzet. There is a Dimir card, not to kind of jump the gun, but I feel like it's definitely your budget Snapcaster mage.
Oh,
if not just, I mean, to me, it's just better because I think Snapcaster mages they're just too fucking expensive. Like they don't make a commander deck for the money.
No,
like, get a Crucible of Worlds if you're going to spend that kind of coin.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Get a doubling season if you're going to spend that kind of coin. Like it's a fucking amazing card, and I like the Snapcaster Mage is one of those cards that's going to go down in history. But
yeah,
for us, it's kind of like, I mean, it's great. It's really good, but I'm not ready to drop. What is it, $80 right now or something crazy?
No.
Mission Briefing, blue and a blue. You can surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in your graveyard. You may cast that card. You may cast that card this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So it's basically just granting something flashback. What's great about this one is that you can do the surveil, and if something is added to the graveyard, then you can resolve
just surveilled something juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I had that on my list of cards that I think Commander players really should consider.
It's a spell, so with the new Niv Mizzet, it'll trigger so you've got 2 triggers now.
Yeah.
So draw, you know, so surveil, so you cast it, draw a card, surveil 2.
Yeah.
Or I guess you could order these if you wanted.
Yeah, however you need to.
It goes to the graveyard, and then it could be,
It's pretty dope.
It can cast jumpstart cards, it can cast flashback. I mean, you could, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that.
Sure.
Because you'd have to pay the jumpstart cost all over again if you're doing the low one. But yeah, this is it, I think, for the spell slinging cards from this deck. Or I mean, from this set. The Guild League, the League Mage is just...
Yeah, the Guild Mages are... So the uncommon Guild Mage cycles that they do, they're...
Just the last one seemed just better, even though the mana cost was higher.
Sure.
To twin spells.
But they're almost always have like they almost always have like really costly activated abilities associated with them with really, really modest payoffs.
Yeah. Okay, what guild you're gonna go over?
Let's do Boros, and this is gonna be fast.
Yeah. Like a real Boros deck should be.
Let's just pause and have a moment of silence for Boros here.
We didn't do that with the legends. We're gonna have the moment of silence now for one of the God.
Yeah, it's just a bit. Yeah, and then like you're just sitting there in your moment of silence, and you just hear this like squeaky fart.
We make Boros so bad so the rest of it can look so good.
I think that's what it is.
That makes sense. I accept that answer.
I literally only put a couple cards on my list of things that Boros has that you might maybe consider. Maybe.
Is there a Boros charm in here? Did they do a functional reprint of Boros charm?
So, but I think Boros charm was in that box.
Dude, Boros charm is dope.
Boros charm is a really, really good,
dope
really card. Truefire Mentor. It's 2 red, 2 white. Has Mentor on it.
Can I just say that I just really don't like the name Mentor?
Right?
Like I just don't. What is that?
Aren't they supposed to be like more characteristic of like, I don't know, the bookworms? You know?
Yeah, honestly, like aren't they supposed to be like? Are they supposed to be like some like army or something? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. So it has Mentor on it, which we're not excited about that for Commander anyways.
Yeah.
But it has whenever Truefire Captain is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player. It's like a lesser Stuffy doll.
So it kind of goes along with that idea that I was talking about, like doing a ton of non-combat damage yourself.
Yeah, like this specifically goes with Tajic, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and the Boros Reckoner.
Yeah, and the Boros Reckoner is another example of that. So we kind of see cards like this. It's just another sample of that. If you have niche places that you use those types of cards, they're cards like this are great combat deterrents, right?
Sure.
Like if somebody's going to, we talk about Trample so much,
but he has Trample.
But he has Trample. It doesn't matter.
Slows that down a little bit.
Yeah, it does slow it down. So, but you know, like if somebody does have like a Voltron of some type, it can be a bit of a deterrent. Chance of Glory is another one that's...
There is no chance of glory.
There really isn't. There really isn't. This has like niche use. But you know, we're going to try it. Somebody's going to try it. So it's 1, a red and a white for an instant. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the motherfucking game.
Dude, that's my kind of card right there.
It's a real gamble.
Yeah.
But
it's like Final Fortune.
Yeah. If we're being honest, though, about what Boros does, this is probably Wizards kind of giving a nod to Commander players a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I've played a lot of fucking Boros. I know how it goes. You get your stuff set up early. You do a painfully large amount of damage.
But not
and
enough to put anybody
scare
down.
the shit out of everybody. They wrath you. You've shot your wad. You have no cards in hand and you're top decking. And you're a non-participant until somebody puts you out of your misery. That's how Boros goes. A card like Chance of Glory or Chance for Glory allows you
one chance at glory.
At glory.
This is like the most aptly named card they've ever printed.
It really is.
I think it's dope.
It really is. So we have shit on the Boros design, I think, in this review.
Well, we're going to cover it on one of our episodes coming up.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it. And I think there's some things that maybe we're missing as Commander players that we don't typically use that we'll address. But Chance for Glory, if you're that Boros player, put it in your deck.
Okay. Anything else?
Legion War Boss was the other one that I put in.
Is that a goblin?
It's a goblin.
Hell yeah. Have you heard of a boss? It's a goblin. I know it.
Well, yeah. And I think anything that's dealing with goblins is going to be interested in this. So 2 and a red for a goblin soldier. That's a 2/2. It has mentor. Why goblins are mentoring each other, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen their surgeon?
He only works on churro surgeon.
Right. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. That token gains haste until end of turn and attacks this combat fable. So I don't know, anything goblins are due, they're just really interested in getting more goblins. So Krenko et al. Will be interested.
There's actually another goblin in this set that Krenko wants too.
Is there?
Did you see him?
Which one are you talking about?
You're not even looking for him, are you? Because you don't look for goblins.
I look for the master race elves.
So it's, oh my God, dude. Goblin Crater Maker. It's one in a red for a 2/2. This card is so, oh my God, I love this card. 1 in a red, yeah,
is it
for a 2/2
one, or
Goblin
is it just
Warrior.
It's
not
general?
Boros, it's just a red card, yeah.
Okay.
For Goblin Warrior, you may pay 1 and sacrifice the Goblin Crater Maker, and you can choose 1. The Goblin Crater Maker can deal 2 damage to target creature, get fucked, or you can destroy target colorless non-land permanent. It's a goblin that can kill Emrakul.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. That's
the
way
Promised
cool.
End.
And
Kozilek. Can't destroy Erlamog though.
Sure. But if nothing else, like
this thing is awesome.
Anybody's
artifacts,
awesome artifacts.
Done.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, that card is the shit.
That is a good one.
That card is the shit.
That's just generally good. I think. Yeah, obviously Goblin decks are interested in it, but I think that's just a generally good red card.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay. Do we want to go over the Dimir stuff?
Yeah. Let's do Dimir.
So they have a fairly interesting split card if you're running Kess, I think.
Oh, okay.
So they have Connive and Concoct. So Connive says gain control of target creature of power 2 or less. So I really like that it's not CMC 2 or less. Again, a lot of these commanders out there,
they fit into
they don't
that.
really have a lot of power. Concoct is 3, a blue and a black, surveil 3, then return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So remember that Kess Reanimator deck we were talking about?
Oh.
Yeah, I like that surveil 3 part, and then pushing that creature back into play and
That's
having that
dope.
flexibility. So it's more just kind of like, I like the flexibility that kind of comes from it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
What's next on this list? Oh yeah, the other split is kind of, I'm not even gonna go over it because it's kind of weird. Like it bounces all the permanents. But the one that I was thinking is the Mnemonic Betrayal.
Yeah.
God, the art on this is metal.
Yeah,
as
that thing is
fuck,
sweet.
dude.
Who's the artist on that?
I don't. Clint Searly. This thing is crazy.
It's dope.
So 1 a blue and a blue and a black. Exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though it was mana of any color to of any type even to cast. So if you've got like colorless, I suppose you can reassign it.
Yeah.
Any type to cast those spells. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, return them to their owner's graveyard, and then you have to exile Mnemonic Betrayal. This thing is fucking crazy.
That's nuts.
So if you have a fully charged...
so if you want the Spirit of Lazav in your deck...
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's that, right? But if you have a fully charged Bloodchief Ascension, that would do a lot of work.
Oh!
Because they go back into the graveyard.
Yeah.
And it says from anywhere. Or the old
That's
Dimir.
crazy.
Yeah, or the old Dimir one.
Yeah.
You know.
The old mage. Like Guild Mage or whatever.
Yeah.
Guild Master.
That would do some work. It would hurt pretty bad to have those in.
That's fucking dope.
I like shit like that. Like I'm pretty into that card.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's kind of
awesome.
niche what it's looking to do, but yeah. I already went over like their other card, the Snapcaster Mage. That's an instant pretty much. How do you feel about the Dream Eater?
I tell you one deck that definitely requires this.
What?
Unesh.
Requires it? I mean, yeah, it's obliged to because it's all right. So the Dream Eater is a 4, a blue and a blue for a creature Nightmare Sphinx. It has flash, which that's pretty good, and flying. When it enters the battlefield, when the Dream Eater enters the battlefield, you surveil 4. So we talked about surveil. Surveil is basically like
it's scryed, but to
scry to your
graveyard
graveyard
instead of under like bottom of your library.
Yeah, which I think is
it's extremely
in
useful.
some cases better.
It is. There's a lot of decks that are going to want that a lot more than putting it on the bottom.
Yeah, and then it says when you do, you may you may return target non-land permanent opponent controls to its owner's hand, and it's a 4/3. So it kind of just bounces a permanent. I don't know why this is a mythic though. God
I don't know
damn.
why it's a mythic either, but
the Sphinx of Uthun has better stats strapped to it, and it was never a mythic.
Sure.
It's a 5/7 and does it lets you look at the top 5 cards and you get a pile, like, right?
Yeah. But I think the ability so there's two things to me. Well, a lot of things. I mean, with Unesh, obviously you're with the surveil, you can look and see if you just need to clear those things away into your yard,
or have them part of the pile.
or if you want to leave them there for its ETB with Unesh, because
they might go to the graveyard anyway.
2 of those are, well, whatever segment of those pile is going to end up in the graveyard.
Okay.
I like the flash and being able to return something to an opponent's hand.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You can be very responsive about what people are doing. With that.
Thief of Sanity. It's flying for a 1, a blue, and a black, so it's a kind of a specter. Whenever Thief of Sanity deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of that player's library, exile 1 of them face down, put the rest into their graveyard, which I don't know if I like that. As for as long as that card remains exiled, you may look at it and you may cast it as though it was mana of any type to cast that spell. So if you like the Kuru Mind Eater type effects, it's got blue in it, so it's not going to be in Gonti, but
that's cool.
It's neat. I think if you're running kind of like that old Sig, like if you're still being,
bad Sig.
Yeah, if you're just being hopelessly resistant to the Eureka wave, and you're like, I'm sticking with fucking Sig Cutthroat. This is this is the card I guess you would be interested in because yeah, you're already looking to kind of do tricky stuff like that. I'm trying to think of anything else that they had that really stuck out. There was any Dimir cards that you liked?
I mean, again, just thinking of Unesh, there's another mono blue Sphinx.
What does that do?
So it's just the City Watch Sphinx.
Are you just obliged to run every Sphinx that comes out?
Well, I think you're obliged to consider them with that deck.
Okay.
This one's not great, but like for that particular deck, it may be useful. Surveil is good, I think, with that deck because you can go through your deck faster. So when it dies, it surveils too, but it's a high CMC for what it gives you. So
okay, I think the only one I've got left now I'd like to talk about is the Notion Rain.
Okay,
so it's 1 in a blue and a black to basically like do a surveil version of Read the Bones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean now you have blue with you, so I'm wondering like where this would be good. Maybe still Kess. Maybe still Kess because
you can do it again.
I really like the art on it too. And what the hell does Notion Rain mean? It's just people rain of thoughts, rain of incomplete ideas, like our podcast. That's it for Dimir. What about Selesnya?
So Selesnya, I think actually has a decent number of cards that are worth at least some consideration in it. Let me pull up my list.
Okay.
If I can find it.
I mean, I can hit you with Golgari if you're looking that up because I got that one ready to go. There's not that many, honestly, and there's not really there's not that many really good Golgari cards this time around either. Oh wait, there fucking is. Assassin's goddamn trophy.
Yeah, that thing is fucking dope.
Oh yeah, this thing is the bro of all cards. So black and a green for the Assassin's Trophy. Instant, destroy target permanent an opponent controls. Its controller may search its library for a basic land card and put it in the battlefield, then shuffle their library.
Okay.
So goddamn, this thing's gonna be expensive. This is like a format spanning card.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's good in so many different places.
Yeah, Jund mid-range is going to want it from Legacy.
Yeah, like I was going to say, like it's not that you and I have like a really close pulse on other formats, but you can recognize when some things are just objectively have a good fit.
Yeah, there is actually like a budget alternative for it if you're really looking for some more removal. It's their split card.
Okay.
That they are pushing out. It's
is it the Find and Finality?
The thing about Find and Finality is that I think that card would be really great in a pinch when it's great. And then you'll realize, oh wait, I really like this effect that everything gets, -4/-4 till end of turn. Let me just do Languish then. Like Finality is just you like discovering that Languish can be ordered off of Amazon or your card shopper of your choice. To me, like just putting 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature, like maybe it'll help dodge that -4/-4. But I feel like if you need to like drain the board, you're not going to wait for that moment where you're going to take advantage of those -1/-1 counters, or sorry, the +1/+1 counters before that other part goes off. No, I was talking about status and statue.
Okay.
So status is green and a black. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains death till end of turn. So, I don't know. I like it for the Virtus and Gorm deck.
Oh.
But statue is 2, a black and a green. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, creature. So it's an instant. Just why.
Gotcha.
It's like a little bit of a beefed up putrefy.
Yeah.
It's no Assassin's Trophy, but
sure. But
when you bust out your credit card for the Assassin's Trophy.
Be thinking of this one.
Yeah, right. That's kind of a. I don't know. I think it's a good budget alternative.
I like it.
It's a functionally extra putrefy with a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have that they can't be regenerated clause.
Sure.
What do you think about?
How many people are doing that?
Yeah. I'm not really that afraid of regenerate. I've never been like, damn it, I can't kill him because he's gonna regenerate.
It's so niche.
It's pretty niche. It honestly is. Underrealm Lich. How do you feel about this guy?
I've got a place for it.
Oh, I bet you do. 3, a black and a green. If you would draw, or for a zombie elf shaman, if you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. You can pay 4 life, and the Underrealm Lich gains indestructible till end of turn, but then tap it. So it's kind of like a half regen. Speaking of regen, but it's indestructible, but it still taps it. It's a 4/3. So Sidisi, I guess.
Yeah, Sidisi for sure.
Wants that.
The Gitrog monster's got a huge raging
frog on for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Gitrog monster will draw tons of cards with the Underrealm Lich.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Gitrog monster already does draw a ton of cards. This will
just let you sift a little better.
Yeah,
you get like some better top selection.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting your choice.
Yeah, you pick the spells you want, and then drop a land into there, and then draw an extra card.
I think Golgari in the card shop, like the 99 side of the thing,
well fed.
Yeah, so because we have Mausoleum Secrets.
Yeah, Mausoleum Secrets is really good too.
1 in a black Undergrowth. Search your library for a black card with converted mana cost of less than or equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. But this thing's an instant.
Yeah, a 2 mana instant spell tutor.
That tutor's a black card.
I mean, there's some
we already used Beseech the Queen.
Exactly. Like this thing is
we take what we can get.
Yeah.
You know, you got to take what you can get.
It's good.
Because Beseech the Queen says search your library for a card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those other ones. It's like checking something. Yeah, it's checking something to get it done, but it wants black to be the most cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah, this one 2 mana instant.
Otherwise, it's a more restrictive demonic or diabolic tutor.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, we're taking what we can get. Any Golgari cards stick out to you besides these?
I mean, I think you covered the ones that were like a big deal to me.
Yeah, a lot of them you'll notice, like if you just want to kind of like look at them yourself, you'll see that a lot of it is the Undergrowth thing. ETBs wants a lot of creatures in your graveyards.
Yeah.
Some of them are they seem valuable. Some of them are just, I don't know, like give them a shot, but I don't know. These ones, these seem to be the ones that stick out. There was one of those Golgari Raiders. I thought was like, was that kind of a alternative to the Golgari Grave Troll because it has haste?
Oh,
but it doesn't have dredge.
Sure.
One thing I think is pretty funny is if you go to the Mythic Spoiler website, the top comment on every Golgari card almost has looks like Dredge got a new toy. Looks like Dredge got a new toy. Looks like Dredge got a new, like even when it has nothing to do with Dredge and they're like, shut the fuck up.
But it's true.
It's just some guy like trolling the Golgari stuff.
The whole thing.
Yeah. Looks like Dredge got a new toy.
That's pretty funny.
All right. Selesnya.
So Selesnya, here's what was happening. Like why I was like pausing.
Yeah.
Is I had written.
I'm just going to close my computer because
I
have no interest or fucking understanding of how to evaluate a Selesnya card to save my life.
It's like that whole segment of Magic the Gathering could not exist and Andy wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, I wouldn't even notice. Honestly.
So here's what was happening.
Is I was Bloodhound deck, I'd be like, who's the fuck is that?
I was looking at my notes. And I had this card name, Assure and Assemble. And I was looking for it and I could not find it. And then I like went back up to the top. I'm like, it's the fucking split card. I'm like scrolling. I'm like, where is it?
Okay, what does it do?
God damn it. So let me just turn my laptop here so I can look at it. So the first part is you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains indestructible until end of turn. I think
an instant?
It is an instant.
Okay.
So, and I think that's the thing. When the reason I bring this up is when you're tokening, you're calling out board wipes.
Sure.
And
but it only makes one of your guys indestructible.
Well, but that's right. But I think
so. It's dog shit.
It is. It's not great.
Okay.
It's not great. But invariably there are key elements to your board state that.
So your Reese the Redeemed.
Yeah, you can save your Reese. It's exactly that.
Okay.
The other side creates tokens, and it's 3 2/2 green and white elf knight tokens with vigilance.
So these elves are a little bit yoked compared to their normal tokening companions.
Yeah, so in something like that, like it's kind of a backup plan on Reese. So the CMC on that is the same as Reese's greater activated ability.
Okay.
So if you don't have tokens set up, that's a really good jump start to that. I don't know that anybody cares about Reese anymore. If I'm being honest. It's one of our least listened to episodes, you know that?
Is it Reese the Redeemed? Yeah. It's one of our early ones, right?
It is one of our early ones.
Plus it has the word feces in the name.
I did put that in there. There is that.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit feces. Let's see. March of Multitudes. Like, I mean, if I'm being honest about the Selesnya cards, I'm not in love with them. They're things that I'm like,
Me neither, dude.
If you play Selesnya, yeah.
Sorry.
Me neither too.
Sorry.
I'm so not in love with them. I didn't even look.
Sorry, keep going. It's so bad that we're getting somebody else in to cover it from another.
Yeah, another content creator is going to make it so. I'm like, Andy doesn't have to make a Selesnya deck list.
I'm gonna fucking give him a thank you letter too. Send
Yeah,
you an email.
you're gonna
Thanks,
like,
man, for doing that dog shit. I know it sucked and it was painful.
Give him a hug. So March of Multitudes, it's X green white white. It has Convoke on it. Create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. This is a card that requires a board setup prior to its being cast. Mm-hmm. You will get a wealth of tokens from something like this in the right circumstances. It's at instant speed, so which is a very nice thing with this one. You can kind of you can just surprise people with it and have a really nice turn. I think that's one of the problems with tokens is a lot of it is happening at sorcery speed.
There's that one from Tarkir that does it. What is it, like Brave the Sands or something?
Yeah, Brave the Sands. Yeah. We saw the Wrath spell that
Martial Coup.
Yeah, Martial Coup that does kind of that sort of windfall of tokens as well.
Okay.
Let's see. Camaraderie was another one that I kind of was looking at a little bit. It's 4, a green and a white. Sorcery, you gain X life and draw X cards.
Boros should have had Camaraderie.
Is the number of creatures you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, no friends here. No, like it's sort of it's a green-esque card draw spell. It's gonna to me, I think a card like this is important if you're tokening in Selesnya because you're going to shoot your wad. You're going to cast Camaraderie and draw a bunch of cards.
I won't ever shoot my wad with Selesnya.
And then somebody's going to wrath you and you need to set up again.
Yeah, I get it.
Like you need a card like Camaraderie because you will get undone. Join Shields, I think was another one. Untap all creatures you control. This is an instant, so 3, a green and a white. Untap all creatures you control. They gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Necessary for you.
How much mana is that?
It's 5. It's a high CMC, but to give them hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
You'd do it.
I would definitely do it.
Plus it untaps them so that new Amara thing could do whatever tap stuff you've been doing.
And any convoke things that you're going to be doing.
Okay.
So Join Shields is in conjunction with some other cards, it could be very useful. And you're tokening, you're going to get wrathed. You just fucking need it.
Take what you can get.
Until that Merciless Eviction hits and you just flip the table over because you can never win with Selesnya tokens.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Like 2 of these guilds, you're just like, you can just never win. I can't win with Boros. I can't win with Selesnya. I just can't win.
It's funny because the 2 guilds that I identified with most in our early days of playing Magic, I've like abandoned.
Now you're all about like wars off.
Yeah. Huh. Pause for reflection. So 2 and a green. It has Convoke. I don't know if you need Convoke on something that low to the ground, but prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn.
God, every one of these cards sounds like a freaking WikiHow for depressed people. Pause and reflect about your life and how somebody loves you. What was the one before that? Join together.
So you know this whole Guilds of Ravnica thing, this like return to is set in fall, right?
Is it?
You know, in that pause for reflection, there's somebody that you can't see that's in there somewhere that has a pumpkin spice latte.
It's because pumpkin spice lattes are the pumpkin spice of life.
It's true. There was one other card that we didn't mention that's not necessarily, it doesn't have like a guild symbol to it.
Is it that green guy?
No, it's an enchantment.
What is it?
So Divine Visitation.
Oh, that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so 3 and 2 white. If 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, that many 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance are created instead.
Wow. That and Anointed Procession in the same... Oh, wait, never mind. It's rotating.
Yeah.
That's pretty... I mean, you're the token guy, right?
That thing's fucking dope. Here's
my
the
brother
problem.
texted me that today. He's like,
Did he?
this thing's crazy. Avenger Zendikar with this?
Oh yeah.
He's like, this
yeah.
freaking crazy.
Yeah, instead of all these like 0/1 plants, you end up with a bunch of 4/4
flying angels
that are vigilant, so you can be aggressive and have no worries about it. That is great,
yeah.
Like Andy brings up a really good point, I think, when he's talking about spell slinger type stuff. And I think this came up when we were talking about like the 1,000-Year Storm type card. I think cards like this, they have to be taken with a grain of salt, right? Because they're a high enough CMC that it eats up a turn where you're advancing your real game plan, which is to actually, in this case, actually produce tokens.
Okay.
And so I don't know.
Plus all your tokens already are out.
Yeah.
If it flipped them over and did that, it would be bust as hell. But it's like all your tokens become 4/4, and from now on they're just 4/4. But again,
if we're looking at something like Reese, you've got a bunch of tokens out set up. This is the card the turn before your big activation on Reese.
Okay.
It fits in really nicely.
So that one works.
It fits in quite nicely. So there are places for it, but again, I think when you're doing your own individual card evaluation on whether something fits into your deck, take that into account with this one. It's fucking awesome. Like the rewards for this card are incredible, but you have to kind of take that with that
temper your expectations.
Temper the expectations. Because I think if you're playing in a savvy group, if anybody's holding, I think we have these very interesting moments in our games where somebody presents that they have a removal spell or they have a trigger to remove something, and they sort of kind of get into these like, okay, should I kill his artifact or his artifact? Like, which one should I destroy?
Yeah. This one will always be like,
it's one where it's like, yeah, you really can't argue about it. Like they objectively should destroy this.
Insane has got to already be out there to like, to talk that removal away.
Exactly. Like it's way, way, way good. Any more cards, dude?
You see is it Beast Caller or Beast Master? It's like the green one. I forgot about it. I closed my laptop.
Oh yeah, the Beast Whisperer.
Yeah, read that, dude.
Yeah, so this one, this is another big one. I had this kind of listed in my notes too. So it's 2 and 2 green for a 2/3 Elf Druid. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. It's more green style card draw. And
oh god, this
fuck
thing, yeah. So Saleva wants this.
Oh yeah.
Seton wants it because he's a druid even.
Yeah, exactly.
Izuri, like every mono green thing wants this guy.
Yeah, honestly.
Every mono green.
Honestly.
Bro Storm.
Well, because we think about the other side of it is most of the time
they're up to 6
they're
mana.
high CMCs for this
mana.
kind of effect. So it's definitely going into your deck.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not ETB, it's when cast, but whatever. What
doesn't matter.
How much is it?
Don't
4
care.
mana?
It's 4.
Yeah.
Because how much are you going to be blinking your green creatures anyways? I mean, there's not a more. The biggest thing is just casting.
Yeah, just keep going.
So, how do you feel about this set, dude?
It feels a lot like the last one. Feels like a lot like the last one to me.
By that, do you mean the last Ravnica?
Yeah, the last Ravnica.
Okay.
It feels a lot like they've got a favorite guild. For things. I think Golgari has a lot of good cards coming out of it for whatever. Same with Dimir. I think the other 3 are kind of getting held back a little bit.
So I don't follow Maro's column as much as I used to, but I remember during the last Ravnica, he wrote a column where he mentioned that he is very partial to Izzet, and that he kind of held the design back a little bit. If I recall correctly.
Yeah, I had heard that that Mizzix Melik was not really originally 6 CMC.
Yeah.
And then I guess they thought it was too busted. I don't know.
So that
they jacked up. What's the girl? What's her name?
So Imara and she was actually going to be the
Voice of Resurgence.
And that's why
didn't want that in the draft. So they're like, and they didn't want to make her mythic because she wasn't a guild master.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, okay.
So the previous emulation of Imara, she's
so
good to have in a token deck, but
and whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone should understand that like the rarity is because of the power and its impact on obviously the draft.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like, oh wait, all the other maze runners are freaking.
Yeah, the symmetry of something like that is weird.
That was the reason why.
Like the preference for symmetry over something
they land
making
on a 7
sense.
CMC card that no one plays.
Yeah.
Like even in token decks, like no one plays it. Like it's just nothing.
It's not great. But you're right. I think it does feel a lot like, I love Ravnica in terms of the design of it. I think the legends that come from it, there's a lot of potential for the legends. I think they whiffed on some, obviously by how we've talked about them, but you know, I think it's a cool design space for them to work in, and I think they deliver quite a few. And I think it helps the multicolor environment.
I think I'm most excited for the third block. I think it's going to be a lot like how the fourth one went, or the third one went in the original.
Oh,
everything just goes nuts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because the narrative is sounding like Nikki B's paying everybody a visit.
Oh yeah.
And all this stuff's going to come to a head, and they're going to kill my dragon.
It's going to be a sad day.
Yeah. Either he's going to get a Planeswalker Spark, or he's going to die. I think that's what's going to happen.
I just hope he's been a Planeswalker this whole time.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. So what's our plan between here and when does the next one even hit?
I think the next
January?
one would be, I think it would be January.
So we're going to try to get 5 of these guilds covered, and we're going to do it kind of like how we did the mono decks. The Boros episode will be something to listen to. I think that's something that
tune in. I think there may be an inclination to not listen to it because it's Boros, but I think we have some things planned for our discussion.
It's going to be a pretty aggressive narrative, I think, what we're going to try to do.
Yeah.
And then I guess you've got somebody lined up to cover my disinterest in Selesnya.
Yeah, so we've got a guest that we'll surprise people with, I guess.
Are you ready to do an Izzet deck? Dude, are you ready to build one?
That's going to be weird. I've felt like Izzet is off limits to me like my entire life. That's just my own take.
Well,
I mean, I feel like it's just, I feel like Ralzarek wandering into Niv Mizzet's bedroom when it comes to Izzet. Like,
okay,
what are you doing here?
Yeah, and then Dimir.
Yeah, I think we have some. Dimir will be interesting because there's two legends. I think
that one's gonna be hard to do because they've been covered pretty well already.
Yeah,
both of them. Like they got given to content creators with preference, and they did okay work with it. So it's like, what are we going to say that they didn't?
Sure.
But yeah,
there's some other stuff. But we'll do that series. Come up with some decks and talk about the identity of each of these 5 guilds we've got in this particular set.
Okay, man, we pulled it off. Review of Ravnica 3. Return to Guilds of Ravnica.
Did this feel as tiring as most reviews do?
No.
I'm actually like, I'm done, and I'm like, I'm okay.
I think by the time we were done with Battle Bond, I was like exhausted.
Right? We're just like,
I was pretty tired for that. I don't know if I just gotten off work or something, but I remember being like, okay, this needs to fucking be done. It just need to be done.
Ravnica, yay!